caused an absolute sensation. Late yesterday evening did this man, Jan Jorgensen, when he defeated the number 2 seed Lin Dan of China. Oh, I wonder how much it took out of him. That match last night. Because today he's facing Chen Jin, his third Chinese opponent in 3 days. Because of course Jan Jorgensen in the first round defeated Du Pengyu. Yeah. Chinese fans. This match, of course, from the bottom half of the draw because Lin Dan was the number 2 seed. Crystal Tan of Malaysia is our umpire. She's in charge. And so Hui Sum, also of Malaysia, is the service judge. Well, Jan Jorgensen, 24-year-old, against a man who celebrated his birthday earlier this week. 26-year-old Chen Jin. His 26th birthday last Tuesday, to be precise. And there you can see first round match. Well, terrific second game, 29-27 against Hu Yun of Hong Kong. Saved 2 game points in that, and one on his 7th match point. And then against Rumbaka of Indonesia yesterday, the Indonesian sadly had to withdraw after that first game. So to Jan Jorgensen, and both of his previous matches in 3 games, and both of his previous matches not only against Chinese players, but he's dropped the opening game. And I have to say, in his first round against Du Pengyu, 26-24 in the decider, but he'd been 16-20 down. He saved 8 match points before actually winning on his first match point. What a match that was. And then yesterday against the reigning world and Olympic champion, caused an absolute sensation. 58 minutes for that yesterday, having been an hour and 6 minutes on court for his first match. Well, they met last week. And last week in the second round. And as you can see, Jan Jorgensen won on that occasion in 3 games. Well, a week ago, it was an hour and 12 minutes between these 2 men. Well, for Chen Jin, was a semi-finalist here back in 2006. Well, for Jan Jorgensen, he's only making his second appearance here at the Malaysia Open. Quarter-finalist last time he played, which was 2 years ago, 2010, where once again he caused a sensation, beating in the first round the number 3 seed Taufik Hidayat. Well, when you consider Chen Jin only had to spend 17 minutes on court yesterday, winning the first game against the Urumbaka of Indonesia, 21-11. And then his opponent retiring from the match. In comparison to Jan Jorgensen, who's had to physically battle so hard, can't help but wonder if that might have its effect today. Well, I know it's very early stages, and I know that Jan Jorgensen has dropped the opening game in his first 2 matches before coming back to win. But I have to say, as far as Danish fans are concerned, it certainly doesn't look to be as sharp as certainly as he was last night. Perhaps needs to just play himself into the match a little bit more. Oh, that's a good smash from Chen Jin. Just across the body, aiming towards that right hip. Very clever. Well, certainly when they played last week in Seoul in Korea, there was some long physical rallies. Oh, that's way in. Obviously thought it was going to go wide of the singles court. It wasn't even particularly close. It's gone wide. Now finally the Dane gets a point on the board. Well, there was a lot of fist pumping last night from Jan Jorgensen. Yeah, we've seen it on the last two rallies here. Little clenched fist. Oh, service fault called. Jan Jorgensen can't believe the call. Service judge saying racket not facing in a downward direction. And there you can see the reaction. Tells the story. Well, Jan Jorgensen going across to talk to the service judge. The service judge was quite clear with his hand signal as to what the fault was for. Shouldn't need any verbal clarification. Look how far forward Jan Jorgensen was after playing that initial push from the net, stood his ground. That is a wonderful angle. Oh, he's missed it. Goodness me. That was a golden opportunity for Chen Jin. Brilliant, tight spinning net shot, forced the short lift. And then smashed wide. Clearly wide. Oh, that's a great defensive shot. It looked initially as if he was in all sorts of a tangle. But this is good control. Look at that. Super play. Plays it on the forehand side. Just guides it across court. Now it's gone wide. Great retrieving in that rally from Chen Jin. Court coverage absolutely superb. And the reward for that, a 5-point advantage at the mid-game interval.
Hot 1, 20 seconds. Hot 1, 20 seconds.
Chinese coach. Well, he's never been beyond a quarter-final at the Malaysia Open, Jan Jorgensen. But he won't be panicking yet, that's for sure. Yeah, got the shuttle past Chen Jin deep in his forehand corner. From that moment he was in trouble. Well, considering Chen Jin had a 7-love advantage, now there's only 4 points in it, and look at the body language of Jan Jorgensen. Really pumped up now. Well, now just 2 points in it. Just look at the body language now. Great net play from Jan Jorgensen. Tumbling shuttle makes it so difficult for opponents to control the reply. My goodness me, what happened there?
Race over. 13-11.
Well, that's an extraordinary miss. Well, it was a complete mishit. Came off the frame of the racket, but you've got to ride your luck. Danish coach is looking pretty glum. They ought to be pretty happy. Just 1 point the deficit now. Finds the line. That's a very good smash, very brave too. That's well taken. Brush the shuttle off the top of the tape. Good commitment. Oh yes, just held the shot for long enough to make the Dane just rock back in his body movement. Thought it was going to be a lift. Unable to readjust. Oh, that's another misjudgment. Forgetting the sideways drift. Yeah, he's angry at himself. It's clearly in. That time the judgment was sound. Well, just trying to play it a little too tight. Chen Jin making the error. Both players getting the opportunity to towel down, take on board some liquid. 2 titles last year for this man. Danish international, and then between Christmas and New Year, Copenhagen Masters, which is an invitational event, beats Peter Gader in an absolutely thrilling final. Hour and 15 minutes, saved 5 match points. He really is assuming the mantle to take over from the 35-year-old Peter Gader. Well, Chen Jin making it very clear to the service judge that he thinks it's a fault. Well, the umpire saying don't try to influence the service judge. Good umpiring. Oh, another misjudgment down that sideline from Jan Jorgensen. Yeah, good defence. Driving the shuttle back. Giving the Dane no time. Two points away from this opening game. Oh, that's a lovely block from Jorgensen. This one, the straight block, skin the nets. Well, he's been making a habit of comebacks as Jan Jorgensen. Well, making it hard for himself because there's 4 game points now to Chen Jin. Only needed the one opportunity. 21-16. Well, one can only wonder what would have happened had Jan Jorgensen not been quite so sluggish to start. There was a 7-love advantage at the start of that opening game. Really did make the difference. 21-16, 24 minutes. Steen Peterson still talking to Jan Jorgensen, whereas Chen Jin has already returned to court. And his coach, Charles Ranjat, has now rejoined this court, having been on duty on an adjoining court, seeing Chen Long safely through against Sho Sasaki.
Second game, lock on, play. One, lock.
Well, quite clearly the Dane has to make a better start to the second game than he did the first.
Service over. 1-all.
Oh, that's a magnificent smash.
Service over. 2-1.
Gets back well. Fast movement to get behind the shuttle. Then he's got the options. Wow. Had to retrieve for so long in that rally, Chen Jin. And then the wonderful disguised drop shot across court. Yeah, a little bit of frustration overflowing at the end there from Jan Jorgensen. Court just needing to be mopped of the perspiration. There's Charles Ranjat on the left as we look at them. Former world champion. Yeah, it was the angled shot that did the damage, the slice.
2-3.
Chen Jin not moving his feet, just almost falling towards the shuttle, got it back, but his reply not good enough.
Service over. 4-2. Service over. 3-4.
Real desperation defence there.
Service over. 5-3.
Oh, not sure that was going to land in. Yeah, he pays the penalty. Chen Jin, I'm sure, could have left that earlier one. Would have gone wide of the singles court. Oh, clever. Well, he appeared to be in all sorts of trouble, did Chen Jin. And then the reverse angle. Look, he was down on his knees, expecting the straight Jan Jorgensen. Deceived by that cross court. Oh, that's lovely again. And look at Jan Jorgensen. Livid at himself. Well, perhaps the lift was a little short, but not too bad. Shot from Chen Jin was just too good. Slight hesitation on the backhand from Jan Jorgensen. And immediately after he'd played the backhand and he knew it was going to be an error. This one, there's the hesitation. He looks back towards that corner again as if to say to himself, yeah, I wonder, should I have left that? Well, very important as far as Jorgensen is concerned that he tries to narrow this gap before the mid-game interval. Oh, that's pushed long.
11-5, interval.
Yeah, well, there's the frustration. 6-point advantage to Chen Jin at the mid-game interval. Yeah, clearly long. Well, the Dane made a remarkable comebacks in his opening match against Du Pengyu, and then again yesterday
20 seconds.
against Lin Dan.
Hot 1, 20 seconds.
But he's going to need to draw on all of his resources and determination to turn this one around.
Level 5, play.
Well, that's exactly what he needed. He needed the first points after the mid-game interval. Chen Jin not ready. Jan Jorgensen will have to serve again. Oh, that's perfect. What a super controlled smash.
12,
Wasn't powerful, just perfectly placed. This is a good rally. Oh, pushed it wide. Didn't take into account the sideways drift. Well, was about to serve and then pointed out to the umpire that somebody in the crowd is using flash photography. Just disturbed his concentration, and rightly so, that he should stop. Umpire just informing the tournament referee that that's what the problem was, and I'm sure there'll be an announcement to the crowd to not use any flash cameras. Very disturbing for the players. Yeah, that's a good angle.
7-13.
Both players enjoying a lot of success with that round the head cross-court angled smash. Well, there you go. There's our announcer just informing the crowd not to use flash cameras. Yeah, seems to be decidedly more net shots since the mid-game interval from Jan Jorgensen, wanting to gain control of the net. Chen Jin, in contrast, having played a net shot, tends to be backing off from the net, expecting the lift. Oh, good rally. Very physical rally too. And in the end, Jan Jorgensen losing patience. Well, became a mental battle in the end, that rally. Physically, both players giving their all. Finds the line. Well, Jan Jorgensen doesn't like the call. I have to say, I thought it was good. And Chen Jin having a word with the umpire and saying the call from Jan Jorgensen could be construed. Yeah, that found the line. Could be construed as trying to influence the line judge. Well, 6-point advantage now. If the Dane wants to come back in this, he's going to have to make his moves pretty soon. Yeah, he's gaining success when he plays back to the net, Jorgensen. That was good defence. Yeah, chose to lift it that time. This is a big point, and it's gone long. And the 6-point deficit has been halved. And now, just 2 points in it. Well, I said he needed to make his move, and he needed to make it pretty quickly. Well, he has done that. And the Malaysian fans right behind the Dane. Certainly got a lot of supports last night when he was playing against the world and Olympic champion, Lin Dan. Yeah. The straight smash. And the fans approve. Well, while the court is mopped, I can tell you that Chen Jin was at the back of the court talking to his coach. Well, must be wondering what on earth's happened to change this around. Seemed to be cruising at 15-9. That, of course, was before this run of 5 straight points from the Dane. He's back level. Oh, he finds the line. He's on his knees. A look towards the line judge. I thought the line judge made the right call. Yes, indeed. Well, whole different complexion on this second game now. And that's gone long. And I can see a couple of Danish flags in the crowd here being held aloft. 16 all. Oh, that's a great kill on the net from Chen Jin.
17-16.
Ready to pounce. Well, the noise levels have gone up a couple of decibels. The tight spinning net shot. This one forced the short lift and the easy opportunity for the winning smash. But he just can't get his nose in front.
17.
Chen Jin, every time the Dane has drawn level, won the next point. Well, 53 minutes this quarter-final has already been in progress. In fact, just ticked over 54 minutes. That's brilliant. He's looking for the push down his forehand side now, is Jan Jorgensen. Slices across the feathers, creating the acute angle. Oh, he's done it again.
Service over. 19-18.
Well, the crowd chanting Denmark. Oh, it's gone wide. Once again, the Dane back level. Can he finally get his nose in front at this crucial stage? Oh, and the answer to that is no.
Service
Not yet, anyway.
20, match point 19.
Well, he'll have to win the next point if he wants to continue the match, Jan Jorgensen, because it's now match point for Chen Jin. The roar from the crowd. Well, going for a very ambitious cross-court block when he was taking it so late. Yeah, he knows it was a foolhardy option. It's gone wrong. And finally, the Dane gets his nose in front. Game point. It's long. It is one game all.
1 game all.
Would you believe it? He was 6 points adrift at 9:15. He saved a match point. And here he is now in a third and deciding game. 1 minute shy of the hour mark, and it's one game apiece.
Hot 1, 20 seconds. Hot 1, 20 seconds.
Well, a change of shirts for Jan Jorgensen from black to red. Well, we saw in the women's singles quarterfinal Saina Nehwal of India failing to convert a match point in her second game, went the full distance against Tina Bao,
Final game.
but she came back very strongly. I wonder if Chen Jin, who held that match point in that second game, can emulate that achievement. Jan Jorgensen on a bit of a roll at the moment. And certainly a psychological high. Oh, that's a good smash. Well, I have to say, there's still somebody in the crowd who's using flash photography, which is a great shame. Oh, so fast forward to make the kill. Knew after he'd played this round the head smash that the block was coming, and he was in so quickly. Yeah, and just look at the crowd's reaction. Yeah, really stepped into that. Chen Jin, perhaps a little bit loose from Jorgensen. A bit floaty with his drop shot. Putting in the slower drop that time. Chen Jin to great effect. beginning to read the blocks now is Chen Jin. Spraining the Dane, a lot of success in that second game. Perhaps just overplaying it now. Read it very early to Chen Jin. Stepped in, just guided it across court. Well, now Chen Jin, I can tell you, was having a word with the umpire, saying, I think Jan Jorgensen is moving before I've served. Well, guessed right, but still missed it. Yep, knew it was going to come to his forehand side. Moved across court. It's going wide. Yep. Oh, that's wild. And therefore there's a 7 points advantage to Chen Jin as the players change ends in this final game. Well, he had a 7-point advantage in the opening game because he raced with that 7-love lead. And I wonder if once again a good start to this game will be the decisive factor. Well, he's getting known as a comeback king. Can he do it yet again, Jan Jorgensen? Well, of course, both players have enjoyed more success from that far side of the court as we look down, which should be to the advantage of the Dane. But it's a big deficit. Some extraordinary defence. That one from Chen Jin got himself out of trouble somehow. Oh, that's a lovely smash. Very acute angle and very accurate right down that line. Oh, that's just about perfect. Super play. Well, a 10-point advantage now. Make that 11-point advantage, and now Chen Jin really does seem to be in full flow. Well, almost a resigned look on the face of Jan Jorgensen. Certainly won't stop fighting. Well, there's no spring in the step anymore. Even when he was down in the second game, there was a glint in the eye and a spring in the step, and one always thought he could come back. I'm not sure there's the same feeling right now. Well, he's trying the trick shots, and even that isn't working. Three points away from a place in the semi-final for Chen Jin. he's missed it. He's a spent force now. He's Jan Jorgensen, and his 2 previous matches have finally caught up with him. Looked as if he changed his mind.
20, match point 6.
A whole host of match points now for Chen Jin. Remember, of course, he had a match point in the second game, failed to convert. But this time, on his first opportunity, closes out this quarter-final. And the man that beats the reigning world and Olympic champion, Jan Jorgensen, finally departs the Maybank Malaysia Open. His conqueror, his 3rd Chinese player in opposition in 3 days. Chen Jin had the stamina. 21-6 in the deciding game, confirms the umpire. An hour and 18 minutes. There's confirmation of the full score: 21-16, 20-22, 21-6 in the decider.